I got a phone call from Mike Faley one day, and he was like, "Hey Chris, I got an offer for you guys to do a movie. Have you ever heard of this comedian Jim Carrey?"
We knew of Jim. We thought he was a really funny guy in Living Color and everything. We were all aware of his comedy.
Friday night, probably about 5 o'clock at night, get a call. "Hey Mike, do you think that Cannibal Corpse can make it down here Sunday?"
We told Alex, and Alex didn't think it was a good idea at first.
I just want to make sure that we're not going to look stupid in this movie.
But I got the script and kind of read through the script. I'm like, oh boy, I don't know. This looks really corny and cheesy.
We're like, whatever's going around us, we don't care. Like, if Jim Carrey's running around doing crazy stuff or whatever they're doing, that's fine. But we want to, if we're going to be Cannibal Corpse in a movie, we want to behave the way we always do.
They didn't think the band would agree to it, but we said, sure, why not? Let's go in there and do this thing.
I remember first hearing that they were going to be in the movie and thinking, that is the craziest thing I've ever heard of.
I guess, Jim Carrey really wanted us in that.
Jim Carrey, back in the day, huge death metal fan.
Getting his makeup done for the movie, and he was cranking out Pantera and listening to AC/DC.
He liked us. I think he liked DSI, Napalm Death.
He came out of his trailer and he was wearing the clothes that he had on in the movie.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't stop laughing. I was like, oh my God, here he is.
Dude, that's
funny. And he seemed more excited about meeting us. Like, it was so crazy. It was like, oh my God, it's Cannibal Corpse.
He knew all the material that we did. He knew the albums. He was asking us to play songs in soundcheck that we didn't even remember anymore.
He said, so what song are you going to do? Hammer Smash Face or Rancid Amputation?
Dude,
he already
that was weird.
I could only imagine Rob at that time with Jim Carrey.
It's like two magnets being, force
reverse.
Yeah, reverse. Yeah.
Two of the same kinds of crazy, frenetic, comedic, freaks.
I did mention that I could contort my arm, how he did all those crazy body movements, and I was like, yeah, well, I can twist my arm around, and I did that, and he was like, quite impressive.
I remember Chris, I think, asked him to do Fire Marshal Bill, and he did.
Kind of just was like nails on a chalkboard. I would see that vein pop out of the neck, and he's like, that makes you, that gets you sick, He's like, what, this? And I was like, no, dude.
They filmed for 4 days, and it's all you see in the movie is like a minute and a half of those guys.
We had to fake playing to nothing. The crowd couldn't make a sound. They had to look like they were making noise.
There were people there that were moshers, like full-on, hardcore and death metal people.
Just fucking hearing Cannibal Corpse coming over the PA loud. They were just doing what they usually did, get crazy.
There were guys from Malevolent Creation in the audience. And the one guy who does a stage dive is from a band called Brutal Mastication. You see him jumping, a guy named Jimmy.
The director's trying to explain it. No, you can't make any noise. You have to make believe.
Well, they cut the playback, so all you hear is all these feet. The mosh pit, silent mosh pit.
It was definitely a little intimidating, but it was cool to watch it all come together and see that.
And of course, it was phenomenal. I mean, Jim Carrey made that movie. I couldn't believe. It's like, wait, that script is what I just saw on the street?
I actually went to the theaters to see that, and they go to the concert scene and the Hammer Smash Face start. I was like, this is awesome. This is the coolest movie ever.
He backs out that door and you hear, and I said, I freaked out. I was like, I wasn't even in the band. I'm like, that's fucking Cannibal Corpse.
Like 20 death metal heads in this movie theater start banging their heads and moshing.
I screamed in the movie, like, yeah!
And all these parents and kids are looking around going, what's going on? They were freaking out.
And Rob's wearing a Cynic shirt and that.
I was like, yeah, I'm going to wear a Cynic shirt just to show some support for a friend's band.
He wore that Cynic shirt in that scene. When you see him grinding out, it's like, yeah.
I saw the guitar first. I recognized it because his head was down and the hair hanging. I go, that's Rob. That's my son.
You got people that are having to see the movie, have to be subject to Cannibal Corpse, whether they liked it or not.
A lot of kids who've never been exposed to this music were exposed to it, and they were like, wow, that's pretty sick.
I actually told my father that we were going on tour with the band that was in Ace Ventura, because he loves that movie, and it's the only reference point I could give him. And then he was very confused by it.
I still use that as the claim to fame, pretty much. Well, you may have heard us. We were in a movie, Ace Ventura. Oh, you were in that movie?
I'd say about 5 3 weeks after that point, the band got asked about the movie Airhead, I believe it was.
I was like, yeah, let's do another one. But then they found out like a week later that we had just done Ace Ventura, so they're like, oh no, we're gonna have to pass.
We're like, oh damn, we're gonna miss out on this movie. And again, you don't know which one's gonna be huge. Out comes Jim Carrey's movie, which is #1 in the country the first week out. Cannibal Corpse is in it.
I don't know one person has never seen that movie, so you can imagine what it did to their career.
And what do you remember about Airheads? Nothing.
What a lucky break they got on that. It was awesome for them. Obviously, it had a huge step forward in their career.